right now I'm not having any problems with vandalism or anything like that, and I think guests are overall pretty happy. So, yeah, that's all I really have to say for this segment. I know the previous few segments have been pretty boring because I was just doing some really basic stuff like deleting paths and building up the first area of the park. But yeah, I hope this gives you a good idea of maybe one way that you could lay out your park. And I'm gonna maybe build just like, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 more rides, a roller coaster or two, and maybe some general rides just to fill in space and give me something to do. And then I'll be done. End of year 4. Hopefully I'll still have over 1,000 guests. I think I won't have any problem with that really. And yeah, so I'll check in with you guys a little bit later on this year. All right, we are back in October year 4, and I just got another message saying my park entrance fee is too cheap. And you know what? I don't care. I honestly could have like bajillions of dollars right now if I really wanted to. I'm just gonna make the park free, and then they're gonna have to just deal with not paying to get into my park. Anyway, I just hired a whole bunch of handymen because I wanted to improve the aesthetics of my park, and I didn't tell them to not mow the grass because I actually don't mind if they do. They can go through here and clean all this up. Another thing you can do, you can just click on it like this, and that'll get rid of the weeds. It won't look mowed, but it'll look not weedy. So yeah. I'm just gonna show you what I've done since the last check-in. I added this car ride. It's mostly underground. You can see the little sports cars taking off on the little black road, and they drive around all the corners, and then it goes underneath the pads that go up to this swinging ship, and then back to the platform. Really cheesy, short ride, but just kind of I didn't have a car ride, so I wanted to do one. And then I added this bumper. Oops. Okay, I added this bumper cars right here over by this Roman pillar, whatever theming thing that was going on. And one quick thing, I made it a 30-second ride instead of a minute, and that way it increases the number of people that are going to get on it, and it makes it more fun. I added these space rings for whatever reason. This guy's broken down. It's got a safety cutout. So someone's hopefully going to come over and fix it. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to remember. I think I talked about. Did I talk about everything? I may or may not have done a good job of explaining everything that I've built in this park. River Rapids, blah blah blah. One thing that did happen since my last check-in that I know I haven't talked about yet. Roller coaster somewhere back here. Oh my goodness, no path leading from its exit. Roller coaster 4 crashed. Oh, that was during testing though. 30 people died on roller coaster 4. So what happened was, for whatever reason, it crashed, and it was kind of an issue, and I was really upset. But what I did was I increased the launch speed so that it does both corkscrews a little bit faster, and that increased the intensity rating. But I also had on-ride photos, and they still go uphill, and it's still pretty cool. But I just changed it around a little bit to meet the needs so that it wouldn't break down anymore. And I also noticed that the inspection times were at 30 minutes, and that may have been why it broke down, because they weren't getting inspected often enough. Always make your roller coasters on 10-minute inspections. The rest of your rides maybe don't matter. In fact, from now on, I think I'm going to leave most rides at 30-minute inspections and then put the roller coasters at 10-minute inspections so that they have higher priority. Because a lot more people ride them, and you don't want them to crash, because they're your big money makers, and you don't want people to think that. In fact, if you go here and you look at people's thoughts, it might not be on here anymore, but it was for a while. People were saying, I'm not seeing it. People were saying, I'm not going to ride on roller coaster 4. It's too, it's too dangerous. And I'd never seen that before in any of my playing of this game. So I think all that meant is from all my testing and having them crash and all the crash where people actually died and all of that combined, potentially word had gotten out. People were like, "Dude, this guy builds unsafe rides. Don't go," or whatever. And you don't want to you don't want to have that happen, because that's going to lower your park rating. And right now my park rating is at almost 1,000. So that's cool. I have way more than enough guests past the park, so yeah. My monorail's not working. Like by the end of year 4, it doesn't matter. Literally everything is gonna break down. You're gonna have rides breaking down like every 2 seconds, and it's gonna be annoying, but you just have to deal with it. So, and I built this Gravitron, which is kind of cool. I built this 3D cinema right here, and I can't remember what movie I'm showing. Mouse Tales. What about? Oh, well, okay. I guess we'll show Mouse Tales. That's fine. Let's see. Okay. Over in this area of the park, I threw a couple things down too. I added this motion simulator right here. And I made like everything at the end of the park free because I didn't want to charge for it. I threw this swinging ship down too, and it's an inverted swinging ship. So this one does totally upside down action. It's kind of cool. And yeah, there's not really that much else. Go-karts, space rings, I think I talked about those briefly. Rides are breaking down and not getting fixed. Literally, I guess I don't have enough mechanics, so I hired a whole bunch of roaming mechanics. Apparently it wasn't enough. Just hire like 50. Hopefully that'll help. Just keep throwing these down. Hopefully they'll do their job. And yeah, so let's go over what I did in order real quick. I started out with a food court here and these general rides up here on the hill. Scrambled eggs, all these. And then first roller coaster I built with this blue one that it goes underground. I don't know if you can even see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. This is all underground right here. And it does this cool little, it starts off, you can see these people take off here. It goes real fast underground real quick, and then it comes up this hill and it hits the chain hill, and then it climbs up and it does everything else. So kind of a cool way to make use of the terrain here. Every time you have hills, it's a really cool place to build roller coasters because going underground will increase your excitement ratings. Okay, then after that, I built this white coaster here, the reverse incline coaster, which you'll get to see here in a second. Basically what you do is you build a lift chain behind the station platform and you go up real high, and then once they get to the top of it, they'll go down and through the station platform and then ride the ride, and then it'll go backwards and then they'll come back to the station platform. So they get their picture taken, they go underground underneath this observatory tower, and then they come up right here, and then yeah, they just do the whole ride in reverse and come back to the station platform. So that was like my, you could call that like my platform coaster for this park. That like, I think that was the one that really made my park, successful. So yeah, pretty cool deal. It looks like I passed the park, so got the 1,000 guests, got the park rating, got the best value park, all that good stuff. I'll just quickly go over what else I did. I built this observatory tower right after this white coaster. And then I expanded out here first. Swinging ship, paddle boats, and a food court. Later on I built the go-karts. I threw in a Gravitron and a 3D cinema is kind of over here. I'm trying to remember what else I did. Let's see what this is doing. Safety cutout. Safety cutouts aren't too big of a deal. I don't think it actually usually causes crashes. And then these synchronized white and black coasters, I built them next. I think. And then, trying to remember what I did next. 4-year park, so much has gone on, I can't even remember what order I did everything in. I think I expanded over here. I built this footpath that went way out here, and I built this area up. And then once I had these 3 corners of the park, this one, this corner, and then the front area of the park, I built a monorail system, which goes all the way through and around and shows off a whole bunch of my rides. And I thought that this is a really good idea because it allows people to see a lot of your rides, and it also gives them a way to transport themselves around the park without walking. So sometimes people get tired when you have a really big park with huge pads like this. throwing down a transportation system is a really good way to get people around your park, and it's just a good idea. Especially with like a 4-year park, you're probably gonna get bored if you build in like a small little area, so I'd expand it out. And honestly, I did not even use very much. There's all of this. Like if I wanted to, I could probably build for like 5 more years and fill in the other, you know, 3/5 of the park or however much. I didn't fill up very much, so. But anyway, I came over here, built this Woa Belly, built the river rapids, and a food court, and connected the monorail up, and then opened the monorail. And then later on, I came back in and I built a motion simulator and this inverted swinging ship. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think I built almost every ride that's even possible to build. I didn't build all the roller coasters, I guess. There's quite a few that I didn't do. I didn't do a log flume. I'm not a big fan of log flumes, and water slide didn't feel right either. So I had the river rapids and the boat hire, and so I got a little bit of water rides, I guess. But yeah, there's a park later on that's all water, and so I'll do water rides there and help to show just kind of how to do those. So yeah, that's Evergreen Gardens. It's a really long park, so just expect to run into lots of problems. Like you're probably gonna have a coaster crash. It's almost inevitable. One thing I've heard you can do to prevent coaster crashes is you can make construction to it, even if you don't change the ride at all. Just delete a section of track and then add it again. And I think that somehow that maybe refreshes the ride and it clears all the age of the ride, like it's a fresh new ride again. So if you want to prevent crashes, that's one way that you could do it. So, other than that, this park really isn't that difficult. The major thing to do, that was like the first thing that I talked about in this park, was to delete all the pathing. And not only will deleting all the pathing keep your guests from getting lost walking around your park, it will also give you a ton of money because you get $10 for every section of path. And I think I started with like, I probably started with like twice as much money as they gave me. So yeah, definitely don't use the pathing system they give you unless you really want to challenge yourself, but it's honestly, I don't think it's really worth it. So um yeah, that's Evergreen Gardens. That's all I really have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and please subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them and I'll try to answer them. All right, thanks.